You guys, in the past 7 days, 3 different people have asked me, what is estate planning? So I'm coming to you with the basics here because I'm not doing you any favors by letting you walk around unprotected, just one accident away from court, conflict, or other catastrophe. So let's go all the way back. First of all, to what estate planning isn't, and then to what it is. So estate planning is not real estate law. It has nothing to do with me helping you buy or sell a house or handle a real estate closing. I don't know anything about it. I'm not your girl. But estate planning is the process of planning for your death, your incapacity, or what would happen to your people and stuff if you're gone or if you're here but you can no longer manage it yourself. So some common terms in estate planning that you may have heard before are things like wills, trusts, powers of attorney, healthcare directives, living wills, and more, right? So it's a whole process about those things and those terms that you heard before, but it's also just about stuff that you already know about and stuff that you have in general, like your life insurance, your retirement benefits through your employer, your bank accounts, your car, your personal property, the stuff in your house, your jewelry, your family heirlooms. All of that stuff and accounting for everything there has to do with estate planning. Something else that people ask me or comment that I hear often is, well, I don't have an estate, or do I have an estate, or I'm broke. Like, do I need estate planning? The answer to all of the above is yes, you have an estate. An estate is kind of like your net worth. Whether or not you have a lot of money and you have a high net worth, or you have no money and a bunch of debt service and have a negative net worth, you still have a net worth. Right? Estate planning is the same. You can have a lot of stuff in your estate. You can have very little stuff in your estate, but you still have an estate either way, and we need to plan for it, especially if you have kids. Another thing is that just because you're broke this side of the grave, for a lot of us, millennials and people with young children who don't have a lot of money right now, you might have a lot of money that comes into your estate upon your passing. If you have things like life insurance and retirement accounts, those would get paid out to somebody at some point in time, and you need to have a plan for that. Because if you have minor children, it can't go to them because they're not legally old enough to inherit. The same thing with your house. You can't have your kids inherit your house. So whether you think you have an estate or don't have an estate, or think you don't have an estate, you have an estate and you need to have a plan. And that's all estate planning is figuring out everything that you own, the stuff that you have. How are we going to use those common things that you've heard about, like wills, trusts, powers of attorney, healthcare directives, guardianship nominations, living wills, to give people a roadmap and a guide to what would happen to your stuff and your children and the other people in your life if something happened to you. And that's all estate planning is. A lot of steps, right? But simple stuff, and a lot of stuff that you probably already know and can make a plan for pretty easily.
If this content was useful for you, don't forget to subscribe.